Saw dudes, in one of my recent videos, NeoCypher790 commented, "You won't make a Solar Stasis Kratos inspired build." Well, I did, so yeah, there's that. You might have seen his ideas featured on the channel before since they're so good. I will say that the build does not use a Solar or Stasis subclass since they don't carry the same thematic weight that I wanted for the build. Don't worry though, I still found a way to make it work through conditional finality. Additionally, this build can use either Syntheseps or Worm God Caress. The footage in the background uses Worm God Caress for extra weapon damage. This build will let you slay out as the God of War and shake off damage like nothing else. Let's get started. Let's cover the Art of War first, shall we? Start combat by getting a melee or finisher kill to proc Banner of War. After Banner of War activates, use your weapons, Frenzied Blade, or grapple melee to kill enemies. If you create a tangle, throw it at nearby enemies and stand in its explosion radius to get Woven Mail and refund melee energy. Use your guns to keep Banner of War rolling and use your super when it comes up. Use finishers to get some breathing room and heal a bit of health in bad situations. Rinse and repeat. Blade Fury unsheathes the Blades of Chaos, allowing us to square off against the likes of Rolk and Zeus. This super fits the theme of Kratos and does pretty good damage. If you want to double down on it, use Syntheseps for the damage buff. As usual, I think Rally Barricade is perfect for this build. The reload bonus comes in handy when mag dumping bosses and is useful for spamming free shots from conditional finality. Frenzied Blade allows us to use the Blades of Chaos in bursts. We can sever targets and do heavy damage since we can use either Worm God Caress or Syntheseps. Finally, we will be using Grapple. This will be like the chains attached to the blades, pulling us to our pitiful target. Both exotic pieces also buff the grapple melee. This build uses Banner of War and Into the Fray. Banner of War is activated when we kill an enemy with a sword, glaive, finisher, or melee attack. The banner sends out healing pulses periodically, with the frequency increasing with the number of kills achieved after activation. Into the Fray causes destroyed tangles to release 3 pulses that apply Woven Mail and heal allies for 10 HP each. While Woven Mail is active, our melee regeneration rate is increased by 400%. The fragments for this build are Thread of Finality, Fury, Generation, and Transmutation. Finality causes finishers to create a Threadling. Fury grants melee energy upon dealing damage to enemies with a Tangle. Generation grants grenade ability energy for each damage instance dealt to enemies. Finally, Thread of Transmutation causes weapon kills to spawn a Tangle while Woven Mail is active. Let's cover Kratos' arsenal. First off, the helmet had Solar Siphon, Font of Wisdom, and Special Ammo Finder. On Worm God Caress or Syntheseps, there was Heavy Handed, Font of Vigor, and Impact Induction. For the chestplate, I equipped melee damage resistance and 2 variable resistance mods. The Greaves had Recuperation and 2 copies of Stasis Weapon Surge. Lastly, the Mark had Proximity Ward, Reaper, and Time Dilation. As usual, you will want to max out Resilience. This is a melee-centric build, so you need to have adequate damage resistance to stay alive. Next, you will want to get your Strength stat to 70 and Discipline as high as you can get it. These 2 stats will reduce your Frenzied Blade and Grapple cooldown respectively. Any remaining points can be put into Intellect. If you like the God of War series or theme builds in general, consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. There is only one weapon loadout for today since I chose weapons that would be linked to the God of War universe. Let me know if you have any recommendations in the comment section. Weapon loadout 1 uses Conditional Finality, Tyranny of Heaven, and Fire and Forget. Conditional Finality covers the Solar Stasis requirement of the build and is perfect for damn near everything. It stuns unstoppable champions with both shots, provides AoE and single target damage in droves, and buffs our melee damage since it freezes targets. You can use a first freezing shot against champions to prime them for a Frenzied Blade attack or grapple melee. The ignitions are great for clearing out adds at close range. It just works very well with this setup. Tyranny of Heaven is our stand-in for the Bow of Apollo. The roll I crafted is Polymer String, Straight Fletching, Dragonfly, and Incandescent. This bow is meant for long-range ad clear. Dragonfly procs off of precision kills, but that also procs Incandescent for doubled explosions. Dragonfly explosions can kill enemies and proc Incandescent. It's basically a mini Tiku's Divination. If you want more damage up close, you can always use Callus Mini Tool. Lastly, we have Fire and Forget, the Destiny 2 version of Medusa's Gaze. There are plenty of good rolls to craft, but to turn enemies to stone, we're going to use the meme roll of Arrowhead Break, Enhanced Battery, Headstone, and Chill Clip. This roll allows us to freeze enemies on hit and freeze nearby enemies on kill. If you want a more serious DPS roll though, you can use Field Prep and Vorpal Weapon. I would like to thank NeoCypher once again for an amazing build concept. This build is fun and flexible and can actually tank a ton of damage without a sweat. Let me know what you think, and as always, thank you for watching and happy farming.